Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Maniac Mondays. This is your fun and special Monday night tournament series. I am Lotus Knight, one of your hosts for tonight, and I am joined by the one and only Corridon. Corridon, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic tonight. I'm excited to finally get onto a Maniac Monday casting stream, and it's Hero, probably my favorite, or last Hero standing, I should say, my favorite format. So I'm excited.
Yeah, isn't it fun? I love Hero. I think it's a very underrated format.
Yeah,
Just
I love just like the extra thought process into, you need something to beat everything, and if you can't hedge the three O's or the two O's, then you have to make sure that your lineup's going to at least fare off and be able to beat the other person.
mhm. Yeah, it's a very different way of thinking. Whereas in typical Conquest, you would just be thinking of, let me find three decks that beat Warlock or three decks that beat Shaman. In Hero, really, there's so much more thought. It's like, I can beat Warlock, but then I need something that counters Shaman and counters Aggro Druid or Priest or something else, because I need to beat two of their decks somehow. And I can ban one, so it's a way different game.
Yeah, it's a completely different way to look at it. And then you got to think about queuing as well. You have to
Yes.
save. Maybe you're saying, I'm going to hold my mage back until I see, the warlock from them. And then if you lose and the warlock is coming back, then you can queue that mage. And it's one of the series where I guess I say quotations, the loser, but the person who lost that first round kind of has the advantage coming into the next game because they get to choose the matchup. They get to force the next fight.
Yes, it's a bit different in this format because we're going to be talking about best of three. So you ban one. It's not as in normal THL where you can really force the hand when you're coming in. Here you have two. Basically, you're playing with two lives, and you cannot lose both, or you're
Yeah, you're
done.
yeah, you're kind of stuck. It's like, okay, well, I lost this. Well, time to bring the other one that's not banned and that's legal. So, best of three makes it a little bit more interesting and a little bit more finite on the matchups you
Yes.
take, which might actually be more beneficial. Is there, if I'm sitting on a mage and I see a warlock and a shaman on the other side, well, I'll probably gonna ban whatever third deck that is, and I'm gonna lead out with my mage. But then maybe if I see, let's say, an Anaconda Druid on the other side and a Warlock, do you bring the mage first to attack the Warlock, or do you sit the mage back to avoid the Druid? It's such an
Mm,
interesting way to think about it.
I 100% agree. Now, before we go any further, first I want to thank Dusharma for their tier 1 sub. Um,
Woo!
Thank you, Dusharma, for, well, organizing the whole thing and just being awesome as always. But now our next thing, we've talked a little bit about the format, Corridon. We have a lot of players signed up. I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't signed up yet, you can. It's really easy. Just go to the Discord. You'll find a link there that Dusharmo has posted. I can post the link also for people who want it here. I've posted it on Twitch, so you can now find it on our chat as well. There are still 10 minutes to sign up, so sign up if you're watching us and would like to play but have not signed up yet. That
Yeah, the
said,
more the merrier.
oh yeah, can we review who's playing today? Are you ready to go over the list?
I am, yeah, absolutely. Let's get into the participants for the tournament.
Yeah. Now, we have many participants. Some have not confirmed yet, so we will start with the ones who have confirmed. And if someone confirms while we're prepping, you're going to see your name later on than those who signed up earlier just because your confirmation is not there yet. But our first player is board member and just extraordinary great person and most recent THL sub. It is Dusharmo. Corridon, tell me a little bit about Dusharmo.
So Sharmo, I believe, is playing in the Hero Series right now for the THL, so probably has quite a bit of experience in the hero format, and putting it together. So I don't think that really gives you too much of an advantage. But Dusharma's a great player. I definitely expect him to go pretty far. Hero is one of those things where definitely having the pilots under your belt and just the tenureship is really where you can finesse the mirror matches and things like that. I think Dusharma has a pretty good chance, and in a lot of the matches we might see mirrors.
Yep, I agree. Dusharmo, just as a reminder, he's a crazy player that has like a 550 plus BR in Hero and like a 3 something in Legacy. No one knows why. He's so much better in Hero. This is kind of his home format, his home court, you could say. So I'm looking forward for super plays for him. And speaking of super, our next player is SuperChicken. Any thoughts on SuperChicken, Corden?
I know Super Chicken has been quite active on Twitter and things as of recently. I don't believe Super Chicken is playing actually in the hero. So as we were talking, Dusharma might have a little bit of a leg up and a little tenureship. Actually, as a lie, Super Chicken is playing. As I'm checking my notes here, he's on even without Turt, sporting a 5-1 record. So Super Chicken definitely very comfortable in the LHS format, sporting a very nice 17-10 game record. So again, two juggernauts coming right off the bat with these combatants.
Oh yeah, Super Chicken has been a really strong THL player. I know he practices a lot with Justin and with some of the others. I know he's played with CMAC quite a bit, so I'm curious to see him perform tonight. Are
Yeah, more in the, I guess, the maybe not the Tespa side, but definitely has the Tespa relations with a lot of the THL staff and players that are around, which some of those guys and girls are just insane players.
yes. Now, speaking of odd players, we now have Oddlaw. Corridon, what do you think about Oddlaw?
Odlaw is not somebody I know a whole bunch about. The Hero series being as finite as it is, I think Odlaw is a possibly a wild player, if I'm not too mistaken, or I'm thinking of somebody different. So could be the odd ball out here and could sneak in as a smaller person to come through. It's a small field, 12 people, so one and done is difficult, but you can definitely get there. Especially if people don't know your play style, might not know what you're bringing, so it's nice to have that surprise factor.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think Oddlaw is someone I've seen the name around, but it's not someone I've seen a ton. And in these kinds of tourneys, you can do really well even if you're not in THL. This is just a great chance to learn, to practice, and to get to play more with people who are around. I think Outlaw might have been around for a season, but this is just a nice chance to make yourself even more known. Now, someone else who has signed up for this tourney is YoDaddy. Any thoughts on YoDaddy? Is this someone you know, Corridon?
Not personally, but apparently he's my daddy, so that's kind of how that works out. No, I don't have a lot of info on Yo Daddy. Again, just pretty much going off of what I know from THL, and this being, a tournament that's open to pretty much anybody, and across Twitter as the
Yes.
THL. A lot of people that might not be part of our community signing up, so. It is nice to see. So, it's unfortunate we don't have much to talk about some of these players that we might not recognize so much, but this is the opportunity that they really do have to come through and, assert themselves with a name and then, maybe find a hero team if the LHS series is something that, this gets them in the door and maybe we can shove them all the way into the room.
Hmm. That's true. Our next player, I don't think we need as much shoving to bring them to THL. Our fifth player is Snake Fods.
Yeah, Snake Fods is, I think that's a household name around THL at this point. Snake Fods probably been playing in the series for a very, 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 very long time. Currently sitting on no pros here, having a bit of a struggle this season, but maybe this is the turnaround point for Snake Fodge. Get some confidence under the belt, take the community tournament home, and head back into Hero and shake it up and really turn it on its head. Start going for a little bit more crazy. In this situation, it's difficult to practice LHS because, not a whole lot of people really dig the format, but it's good to get the practice in. So, uh, Snake Fods is definitely a veteran in the game. So, that I'm excited to see how far they make it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Now, someone who makes it slowly but far, Turtle is our next player, and Turtle has been kind of a crazy player in THL. Any thoughts on Turtle, Corridon?
Yeah, from, inaugural seasons of just absolute insanity to, the losing streak. And then when the Turtle actually was released, Crash was released for Warrior, Turtle refused to lose a game. So, Turtle's one of those question marks. Could be probably a favorite to win the tournament, could also get knocked out in the first round. I mean, that is the way it works with a lot of people, but we've seen both sides of the coin with Turtle, right? Through the THL season, just as it has been, first season, amazing. Second season, a bit of a struggle, but then through that struggle, ended up actually turning it around and sporting a pretty decent um, record as well. So never count Turtle out,
Hmm,
the slow and steady wins the race.
that's true. Our next player, I think he needs no introduction, but I'm sure some people might not know him as well. It is Damen.
Yeah, Damen again. I would say a newcomer on the scene, but I suppose for a lot of the Tespa boys, not really a newcomer, as I believe Damen and Turtle are actually roommates.
Yes,
Um,
I think
yeah,
it's
so
is it Turtle or Owl?
think it's Turtle, but correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I do believe it could be Turtle and Damon, with Owl as possibly was around with the I guess the alma mater from the school, but they all do play on um, the Crafty Monkeys, BG's tournament or team. So definitely a well knit crew there. I can expect Damon to go pretty far. Has been doing decently well, I think, in the THL this year too. So bit of a newcomer. Somebody who maybe could sneak some wins, not expecting to see what they are going to do or what they're going to bring or really their play style. So it's you got to always watch out for the newcomers or I say rookies, but the rookies on the scene there. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Damon is stronger than a lot of people think. Didn't he perform super well in BGs at some point?
Damon is, I believe, the top points earner in Battlegrounds at the moment.
That's
Um,
scary.
I believe recorded in 2 weeks of play, a first second, a first second. So
Yikes.
definitely a smart individual, knows his stuff, and has really held on to the first place in BGs with a lot of very tenured battlegrounds players, Steffi's, Riots. You've got Lil Nenko, a lot of people who are well known and in the auto battler scene. And Damon's just been doing very well over there. So we'll have to see if it can translate to some LHS.
Yeah. Now, we do have one final player, and that is everyone's favorite Justice League member, Aquaman 575.
Yeah, Aquaman 575. Again, similar to earlier on, I'm not extremely familiar, but
No?
it's that surprise factor. It's great to see people who aren't just part of the THL coming in and joining into the tournament. So hopefully we can see Aquaman, get on stream maybe, or get a little further into the tournament, and we can see what they're all about.
Yeah. We're waiting for Dusharma to generate the bracket, and once he gives us the okay, I don't know if it's been generated, it is up.
I believe it is. Yeah.
So the first match we're actually going to watch is Aquaman versus Dusharma. We're going to take a 10-minute break. That's actually not going to be a break for us. It's going to be the break for our viewers. Well, we make sure our delay catches up so you can watch us in literally 10 minutes or a bit more just to set up the stream. But we're all looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned, play if you're playing, and we'll see you all later.
See you on the other side.